event or?
You just came up walking home from work?
Oh yeah, I was just passing through, seeing what all the hubbub's about.
Yeah. Good for you.
I mean, yeah, it seems real feel-goody. Yeah.
That's why we think it's important to have like concrete demands.
Like what?
Concrete demand. Abortion rights are going down the tube.
How so?
The state-by-state restrictions. It's still legal, but parental consent, mandatory sonograms, 3-day waiting periods. It's how they're chipping away at it. And the other problem is what's baked in the cake of Roe v. Wade, the legal decision in 1973. It wasn't based on the 14th Amendment equal protection. It was based on this vague right to privacy plus a shared decision with a doctor. But the worst thing it is, it's based on viability, which in 1972 was set at 28 weeks. But as medical advances, you could have next it's going to be the sperm, it's like it keeps dropping down, but it's going to be based on a woman's right to control her body.
I mean, you do think that there should be a limit though, right? I mean, like, should a woman be able to have an abortion at like the 8th month?
No, but that never happens.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, there should be some kind of limitation, right?
But the main thing is that it should be a woman's decision.
Okay.
Not the priest, not the boyfriend, not the doctor, not the judge, not the U.S. president.
So here's something I'm curious about. I mean, I agree with that. I think that women should be able to choose if they have a child or not. I'm for birth control and abortion. I wouldn't call them rights, but I would say that they should be available. Here's a question for you. If a woman wants to have an abortion, she should be able to. What if a man doesn't want to have a baby? Should he have to pay child support?
Yeah, because how else is she gonna raise a kid?
Well, because she can work, right?
Well, but you know what it's like now, right? You can barely make it. 2 people can barely make it with kids.
It depends on where you live. I mean, it's all circumstantial, But I'm just curious, because I think that women should be able to opt out of having a child. But how come men aren't allowed to opt out of having a child? So if the woman chooses to have the child, then the man still has to pay child support?
I mean, the government's not going to pay for it.
The family, whoever her, she and her new family or whatever can pay for it. I mean, that's not. You're right. It's not the government's responsibility to pay for it. I don't think.
I mean, if it's not the 2 people that create it, whose is it?
Well, it would just be whoever wants to keep the child. I mean, because if a woman doesn't want to keep a child, she doesn't have to. So I don't see why a man would have to keep a child if he doesn't want to.
I mean, I know what you're saying, and I've had coworkers, they've showed me their check at 0 because of child support. It's very, very unfair. But under this capitalist system where they don't give a shit about children or women or men anyway, it's like the working class doesn't have much alternative. And it's impossible to even keep yourself together.
But if they don't have an alternative, if they're not getting money from the government, then how is it fair to force other citizens to pay for it?
Well, it's not a random citizen. It's a guy who had sex with her.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't want the child. Why would he have to pay for it?
So he should make sure he has a rubber.
But just that's what they say to women though. When when women get pregnant, that's the same argument that you just said. That's the same thing that they say to women. Like you should have been more careful. You shouldn't have got pregnant. So it's not really fair to say that to men. Like, oh, you shouldn't have got her pregnant.
The woman is the one who has this for the rest of her life, and the man frequently.
Well, but she's choosing that. So because she's choosing to not get an abortion, so she chooses.
I know, but I mean, some women they don't believe in abortion for religious, whatever. I believe in abortion.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
if people who don't.
Yeah, sure, and me too. I think it should, like I said, I think it should be the woman's choice. But I think that if we're going to talk about equality between the sexes, then if a woman can choose to have or not have a child, then a man should also choose to not have or have a child.
But under capitalism, there's no choice for how she can raise it if she's working at Pancake House and he says, oh, it's your choice, I choose not to. I mean, it's
she has the ultimate choice there. She can work at a Pancake House all she wants. I mean, that's her choice. She has all the options available to her to where she wants to work. She could get married. She could get married she could get married to a new guy, and that guy can help raise the family, or girl or whatever, whoever family situation.
The thing is that under capitalism, there's no way to organize this. There's no help. There's no child care.
There's all kinds of services that people have access to, and
if
what's
they
great
have
about
money.
but what's great about capitalism is that people can whatever isn't available, you can make it happen for yourself. So any need that somebody needs.
How can you make it happen for yourself if you're a single mom? How are you gonna go get a degree, and how's that gonna work? Or are you working at the
you should.
house?
I mean, it depends on each individual person. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but it's not like every time there's something that is provided for people, as we see throughout history.
It's taken away.
Well, no. My point was going to be that every time something's provided for people, by say the government or something. Then people lose incentive to this is why communism fails everywhere it's implemented, because every time you take away the incentive.
Cuba, it's pretty good.
Where?
Cuba?
No, it doesn't work good in Cuba. Their economy is collapsing because of socialism.
They have a lower infant mortality rate than the United States.
They also have a lot less people than the United States.
Because they have prenatal care,
Yeah, I mean that's good.
Because the human beings are actually valued, Education, if you have the grades, you can go to college. It doesn't depend on your father's income. I mean, it's not a perfect society, but they start with what the human beings need, and a lot of problems that they have is because of the U.S. embargo, where they actually fine and punish other countries.
So you would think that America would be better if it were more like Cuba?
Oh, I think we need to make a revolution in this country. It won't be exactly like Cuba, but it will be to put the ordinary working people in power.
Well, they are under capitalism, though. You are in control of your destiny with capitalism, because you can control the enterprises that you try to say if there's a need for something, if there's a need and a demand for something, like say healthcare or abortion services or whatever it is, entrepreneurs are freely able to create that service for people, and they can profit off of it and that provides incentive. The profit provides incentive for people to do these kinds of things. Otherwise, there's not really an incentive for it.
And it means that you're able to access these if you can pay for it. And if you can't. Right,
but that's why when you have things like the free market and competition, that's how you regulate. The free market regulates prices by making no one's going to have a viable business if people can't pay for their product. So they have to make a product that's possible to be purchased by.
Or you can say that the motive isn't profit, it's to provide human needs. Things like healthcare shouldn't be like a car. It should be, you need it because otherwise you die.
Yeah, I mean that's a great ideal, but the thing is that you can't really legislate that, because people have to be able to do things freely by their own volition. And so if people's interest.
What? He said he was polemicizing with the spokesman for that line of reasoning defending capitalism of his day, and he said, yes, the homeless man is free to live under a bridge, just as is the wealthy man.
Well, that's true, though.
But the point is the wealthy man doesn't have to live under a bridge.
Yeah, because he works hard for his money to get to where he is. So
he exploits other people.
Well, what if he didn't exploit other people?
Well, that's the way capitalism works.
No, it's not, though. So you're equating exploitation to capitalism, but I think what you're thinking of is just people taking advantage of other people and exploiting people. That isn't inherent in capitalism. That's just what some people do. People can exploit any system. You can exploit people no matter what system's in place. You're never going to get rid of the potential for exploitation.
I think if ordinary people ran the government, I don't know what you do for a living. I work at a factory, but I think if ordinary people ran society, we would be able to actually tackle the exploitation, taking advantage of people. Pregnancy
that's
issue.
Kind of why. So like Donald Trump being the president right now, he essentially is he's a billionaire, but he's technically an ordinary person because he's not a politician. Right, he appealed to ordinary people, that's why he won. Yes. So, isn't there some...
on real things like the drug epidemic, the unemployment. And this is why...
women's maternity leave. He's all for that.
On that. Yeah, and you know, like I have cousins who voted for him. I'm not one of those that thinks that everybody that supports Trump is a racist.
Okay, that's good, because I talked to someone else who said he was a fascist.
Yeah, it's not a fascist.
Yeah.
And but see, the Socialist Workers Party looks at things scientifically and would explain that ain't fascism, man. If you think that's fascism, you're going to be in a rude awakening when fascism comes around.
Right, that's what I say. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I'm running for mayor of Seattle on the Socialist Workers Party ticket, and this is what I stand for.
Well, I'll read it.
Might surprise you that I defend the Malheur refuge occupiers who are trying to bring to light the issues they have as farmers and ranchers. They're not white supremacists.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the talk. It's really cold, so I'm going to get going home. But
one more thing. Have you noticed the attacks on the synagogues taking place in the mosque? We're having a program about the historic basis of Jewhood. This goes all the way back to feudal times when the feudal kings would scapegoat the Jews when the peasants were starving. They say it's the Jews' fault. Get the peasants to go against the Jews with pitchforks.
Right, and there's a lot of Jew hatred in the Muslim world as well.
And there's a lot of Muslim hatred, but when the Muslim mosque was attacked in Redmond, the first people that came out was a local synagogue, and they fight together on this because in some ways they're under the same gun. And last thing is the militants.
I fully support Israel. I'm a huge Israel supporter.
Well, they have a right to exist, and the Holocaust is why they exist, and we're going to talk about that Friday night too.
Well, yeah, I think they're. I think Israel, I'm very supportive of the Jewish people and of Israel.
Yes.
And I think it's a shame that Jews are still one of the most hated people on this earth.
Yes.
Especially by of course.
Progressives.
Yes, absolutely.
I know that. And you know, Fidel Castro defended the Jews. He gave a speech in which he said, "I support Palestine, but damn it, the Jews are the most persecuted people in the world, and the state of Israel is the right to exist." Fidel Castro said that.
And what's weird, I don't really support anything Castro necessarily, but I do agree with you that it is strangely progressives that are forming alliances with Islamic militants who want to destroy Jews.
Yeah.
So
and that's what we have to speak out again. We're the
I agree
only
with you there.
socialists who say this.
That is very. I mean, I gotta say that's very strange. I mean, coming from just most of the people I talk to wouldn't say that. So
the Socialist Workers Party is the only one that says that.
Okay.
And this is our paper, The Militant, since 1928. The whole question of immigration, of Jew hatred, of the floods. Would you like to get one?
That might that's a little heavy for my. I got your other one, so I think that's enough reading material for me.
Mary Martin.
Oh, what's your name?
Mary Martin.
Mary, nice to meet you. My name's Gabe.
Gabe,
Yep.
Take care, Gabe.
Yep.
Okay.